Hey friends, Shay here. So we are here for one of my annual videos that you all love, and that is the Volume 1 vlog, where I take all the Volume 1s that I've accumulated and I kind of read them all, give you my thoughts, and decide which series I'm going to continue and which ones I'm not. Just because I kind of stopped reading a lot of manga towards the end of the year, so I've accumulated quite a bit. Some of these are much older than I want to admit, so I'm not gonna tell you. So the goal for this video was inspired by Heather over at heabooktubes. Last year she did a whole 24 items in 24 hours kind of vlog series. I'll leave that playlist link down below so you can go and check those out if you haven't. But this is inspired by that. So the goal is 24 volumes of manga in 24 hours. Now, I don't think this is necessarily going to be something hard for me to accomplish, but here are the rules. I need to read the volume as far as I'm going. Like if it's something that I'm going to DNF immediately because something was offensive, I'm still counting it as read because I won't be reading it ever again. We'll decide what stays in my collection, what leaves. And when it comes to the 24 hours, I am going to sleep. So this will potentially carry into tomorrow, depending on how long it takes me to read things. And yeah, those are kind of the big rules, is that I'm going to sleep. I'm not going to stay up for 24 hours. I am too old for that crap. Sorry. I have 32 volume 1s. I might do a separate video with the other 8. If you're interested in that, do let me know down below. So I might just make it a member exclusive too. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. When I decide, I'll let you know in the description. But for now, it's almost 10 o'clock. So I'd like to start right about then. So I've got 3 minutes. So I've got my spinner wheel set up with all the titles. They're all super tiny at the moment. So let's go ahead and spin. There we go. Children of the Sea is going to be the first one. So it's going to take me a minute to unbury it. I'm going to unbury that and get ready to read. And we will go from there. I'm hiding the slice each time so the same one doesn't pop up again. But I think I'm going to check in with you guys every 6 to 8 volumes, depending on how that feels and how much I have to say. And yeah, let's go.
다행일지 몰라 사실 말야 내 목소리 들으면 갑자기 말문이 턱하고 막힐 것만 같아 갑작스런 말에 부담될까 꼭 참았던 말이야 이제는 내 맘을 보여줄 때인 것 같아 널 바래다 주고 언제나 혼자서 걷는 길에 왜 괜히 쓸쓸해지는 건지 이건 사랑인 것 같아 바라는 건 없어 그저 내 맘 알려주고 싶어서 이제는 그게 더 속 시원할 것 같아 널 바래다 주고 언제나 혼자서 걷는 길에 왜 괜히 쓸쓸해지는 건지 이건 사랑인 것 같아 건지 이건 사랑 맞아 아무리 생각해도 좋은 친구로 난 못 넘겠어 왜 달이 슬퍼 보이는 걸까 이건 사랑인 것 같아
Okay, friends, so I've decided that at 6, I feel like it's a good time to talk. So let's talk about the 6 volumes that I've read so far. I'm not reading as quickly as I thought I might today, but that is okay. I've got plenty of time. I'm not stressing. I'm not trying to cram it all into 8 hours like I do sometimes. So I'm just taking my time, and I've read some denser things, so that also contributes to my time. So first up, let's talk about Friday at the Atelier. As I hold it upside down. This one's kind of a funky little story. This is a seinen where we have this woman who, when you first meet her, she is not wanting to stay on this plane of existence, I think is the gentlest way I can say this. But as she's walking around, she ends up stumbling upon this man who had fallen on the ground. And he is an artist. He's inspired by her. So he invites her back to his place and she poses for him with fish. That's the way his art works. He has models, they pose with fish. It's what he does. But she basically becomes his primary model here for a while. They gain a friendship. She likes the food he cooks, so that's why she keeps coming around initially, but they do genuinely grow to be friends. Feelings are blossoming here. It's going to be interesting to see how this one continues, but it's not like high on my priority list to pick up. It's lower. This one is complete at 4 volumes, according to Baka updates. So it's one that I can, I think 2 or 3 of the volumes are out in English right now. Once it's all out, I might just quickly buy the 3 and finish it off. I'm not sure. But right now, of what I've read so far, I am least excited to pick this one up. I'm not saying it's bad. It's like a 3.5 star on a 5-star scale. I'm not going to be doing 6 stars with any of my manga this year. Yeah, so a 3.5 star is not a bad one. It's just not highest on my priority list, if that makes sense. So like if I could only pick up 3 because of the way I'm doing things this year, this would not be in that of the 6 here. So next up, we have Yonoi Tsukihiko's Happy Hell. Now, this one I was really enjoying. Their dynamic is really interesting. Their grandfathers want these two to be together. So they're kind of doing everything in their power to push them together, but they are like polar opposites. She's a sweet, kind of bimbo romantic, and he is the cold CEO kind of thing. She is now working at his company, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this one progresses. So far, I'm in for it, but there's only 2 volumes out in Japan, and it's nowhere near complete from what I'm gathering of what I read in this one. So it'll be really interesting to see how this one continues. This one is one that I will probably be reading as it comes out. I don't know when we're getting volume 2. This one's not been out long, so very excited for more in the series. This one does have some spicy scenes in it. This is a josei title, I believe. Let me double check my spreadsheet. Hold on. Where'd it go? Yes, this is the only josei I've read so far today. So it is meant for adults. There will be adultish content in it, so be prepared for that. Next up, I have The Villainess Turns the Hourglass Volume 1. This one was the longest one I've read so far today at 288 pages. And this was also the most dense. This took me about an hour to get through, which is about double the amount of time of most things that I read. So this one is full color. It is a webtoon style situation. And essentially this woman gets a chance to restart her life because she finds out that her younger half-sister has basically had it out for her this entire time and has set all these things in motion. So she gets a chance to go back in time, saving all of her memories and moving forward from there. So it's kind of a standard villainess gets a do-over situation, but I do think it's well executed and very well done. I gave it a 4-star. I would definitely be interested in picking up more of this, but I wouldn't say it's the highest on my priority list from my pickups, but really enjoyed. Next, I have Stomp Kick Love. So this is an interesting little one. Again, another one that's written mostly for adults, I'd say, though it's labeling as shoujo. This is two adults who kind of become friends at a bar. They have a one-night stand. It changes their dynamic. Things start to continue to escalate from there. It's a pretty standard story. I do think, again, it's well done and well executed for what it is. But, you know, their dynamic is really interesting because he's actually, like, got a really decent job. And when he's not, like, letting loose with her, he's actually a pretty stand-up guy. And so she's like, why the hot and cold? Why do I get this side of you? And so it's just really interesting. I'm interested to see how this one's going to progress. This one's been out a little while, I think. Yeah, it only released in 2024 in the US, but I think it's been out in Japan for a little while. It's 5 volumes and ongoing, if I remember correctly, so I'm definitely looking forward to more of this one. This next one is probably my favorite of the batch so far, and that is the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. This is a really sweet and really cute look at a high school romance between this, you know, normal kind of trendy girl and this girl who, when she's not at school in her uniform, dresses much more edgy, leaning towards masculine, I would say. I wouldn't say she's like butch or anything like that. It's not that level. But, you know, she tends to wear hoodies. She wears a mask when she's at work. And she doesn't wear her glasses. And so she's mistaken for a guy because of the way she dresses. She's very into music. They both are. That's kind of what they bond over. The misconception is corrected about halfway through this volume. So you're not sitting there with this big lie hovering over them very long, which I appreciated a lot. But now they're like, but I'm still kind of interested in you, kind of a situation. And then there's this guy who initially I believe has feelings for her, but now like he ships them together. It's adorable. I really love it. It's very just kind of casually queer. And I love manga becoming casually queer. It's very well done. It has kind of this green undertone to this entire volume. I don't know if all the volumes are going to be like that, but it's kind of like a queer version of like Ice Guy and the Cool Girl to me in a lot of ways, because not only does it have that kind of paneled color underneath, or I'm thinking the Invisible Man and his soon-to-be wife is what I'm thinking. But it's very sweet at the same time and very like blushy, stumbling kind of love. And it's adorable. I love it. I'm definitely going to be picking these up as they come out. I really love this. I highly recommend it. It's so, so good. Completely like sweet and innocent, and I just really love it. It's so cute. And then last of what I've read so far, which was the first thing I read, was Children of the Sea. This is definitely an interesting story, and I'm definitely interested in continuing. This is a seinen title in which these two boys were found in the sea. They were basically raised by dugongs. And then we've got this girl, her dad's kind of involved in the project. She's not doing well in school, and her parents are split. And so she keeps ending up spending time with her dad, which leads her to spending time with these two boys and the friendship that they're making. There's other mysteries and things involved, but I'm glad I didn't know those going in, so I'm not going to say them here. I think going in blind is the right way to go with this series. I'm definitely going to be picking up more. I know this one's an older title and it's a little harder to find sometimes, but this is one that I'm definitely interested in continuing. So very much excited about that. So of the 3 so far, my top 3 that would be top of my purchasing list are the next volumes in Yanako Tsukiko's Happy Hell, The Guy I Was Interested in Wasn't a Guy at All, and Children of the Sea. I'm going to kind of keep that top 3 going as we continue this video, but let's jump into the next set of 6.
Watching you such a thrill. All that I could do was laugh. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back. We were running on that open shore. No saddle on his back. I had never felt so free before. All that I could do was laugh. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back. There I lay beneath the canopy on the gilded forest path, when an ecstasy came over me, and all that I could do was laugh. All that I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it back. How could I hold it? I couldn't hold it back. From our head to toes, we are standing in the overflow. And there's more I know when we're standing in the overflow. We were swimming with the silver moon, dancing like a maniac. Then we raced each other to the room. All that I could do was laugh. All that I could do was laugh. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back.
Okay, so currently sprinting with friends, got some reading in, got some DNFing in. So let's catch up again. So let's start with the 2 DNFs. So the first one is The Night Blooms Behind Castle Walls. So this one, it's not doing anything original. It didn't catch my attention. In its premise, I think it could be executed really well, but this one just did not work for me. So I'm okay to let this one go, not continue it. I have plenty of other things I'm loving, so I'm okay to let this one go and just move forward from there. The other DNF from this stack of 6 was upside down, Blade of the Moon Princess. Basically, the heroine just grated on me the wrong way. I only got about halfway through this, and I'm really bummed because it was Tatsuya Endo who does Spy Family, so I was really hopeful on this one, but I would rather just have the charm of Anya, honestly. Like, yes, it says right on the back that she's defiant and vulgar, but like, to a point, I can understand defiant and vulgar, but I felt like this one took it a step too far for me personally, so I just couldn't get behind it. I know other people have really enjoyed this one, and I'm not going to poo-poo on anybody who did, but it's just one of those things that just didn't work for me. All right, on to the things I liked from this stack. So first up here, we've got Office Gods, Volume 1. So Office Gods is a really interesting take on the Greek gods. So I'm really interested to continue this one. It is on tapas. So I think I'm just going to continue it there and then decide if I want to continue physically. Because at this point, like, it's good, but I don't know if it's one that I need to own good. So I will continue to read this one. I'm not sure I'm going to pick up any more physically right now. I do have the Tapas app, so I can easily read it. So I think I'm going to go that route for this one. And then if I end up really falling in love in the next like chunk of chapters, then I'll continue physically. But for now, I'm okay to just have this one to represent reading it as I talk about it on the channel. And then I can just read it digitally the rest of the way for now is what I'm feeling. So unless I become like deeply obsessed, I think this will be my only physical volume of it. One that I thought was really sweet and really interesting was Hate Me But Let Me Stay. So this is an Omegaverse, so it's definitely not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Like, not everybody does Omegaverse, and that's totally fine. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's just the alpha, omega, beta. There's certain things in sexual things. It's a very sexy set of stories usually when you're dealing with anything Omegaverse, so just be aware of that. This one, we're dealing with a guy who ended up raped in high school, and he's an Omega, and so he ended up pregnant because of it, and he has a daughter that he's raising. He's in his 20s now, and he finally gets a job, and he meets this guy who says, "You're my fated mate. I know it has to be you." And things start off rocky. There is a tiny bit of an age gap here, and there's some things going on with that not everybody's going to be on board with, but I really think this was very well done for what it was. It didn't shy away from the like almost class differences in the secondary sexes. So I found that to be very interesting. The story was pretty contained here. So I don't know what's going to come in future volumes. I don't know if they're going to be a different volume, like a different story within each volume, like a different couple or not, kind of like Twilight in Focus or Twilight Out of Focus where there's multiple couples. It might be a situation like that. I'm not 100% sure yet, but this is one that I do definitely want to continue. It's fairly high on the list and very excited about that. Now let's talk about my two favorites from this batch of 6. So the first one I'm going to talk about here is A Suitable Fetish. So this deals a lot with kinks and different things that people enjoy in sexual relationships. Yes, this is a very steamy, sexy manga. So again, if steam isn't necessarily your thing, this isn't going to be for you. I think this one approached it in a really interesting way because a girl was basically kink shamed by her boyfriend and they broke up. And now she enters kind of this sexual relationship with one of her superiors at work. And he's into similar things kink-wise that she is. So far it's working really well for both of them. His directly below him, but still above her position, that guy also has a different kink, and I really like what they're doing with this. This is more along the lines of what I was wanting from Ladies on Top, I guess, that I didn't end up getting, but I thought this was very well done and I really enjoyed that. So I am very excited to continue this one. Like, definitely want more. And then last but not least for this bunch was My Secretly Hot Husband. I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with how hot he really is. And I really like their origin story as a couple. I think it really is going to make for an interesting story, especially with the way this particular volume ends. I'm very excited to continue. This is definitely like high on my priority list for things I want to continue as quickly as I can. It's very sweet. It's very good. And yes, I definitely can't get enough of them. Like, them as a couple is really sweet. And he's like totally in this thing of, I should divorce you because you deserve better than me. And she's like, no, not happening. And so I love that dynamic. But like, And he thinks he's monstrous for whatever freaking reason. Still haven't gotten the explanation for that. Like, definitely want that explanation, because I'm like, why? He looks like everybody else in the world except a little cuter and a little more sparkly. That doesn't make him a monster. Like, anyways, thoroughly obsessed, definitely in. So if we're going with my current top three titles that I want to continue, because I think this is just a fun thing I'm doing as we go, because I did it in the first one and I just feel like continuing. So that's still going to be the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all, and then A Suitable Fetish and My Secretly Hot Husband. Here is a current update of all 12 that I've read so far. Anything I've DNF'd obviously is at the bottom, but that's my current interest level in these. So with that said, let's move forward to the next batch.
따스하게 불어오는 너란 바람에 흩날리는 마음 사랑인가 봐. 이젠 말해요. 그대 곁에 있을 사람 내가 되어줄게요. My love. 사랑이란 마음만으로 부족할 수도 있지만 떠나가면 안 돼. 떠나가면 안 돼.
약속. 1, 2, 3, 4.
내 맘에 그대가 불어와 향기로 꽃을 피우고 내일을 기다리는 이유 It's you Always you. 내 맘에 그대가 불어와 향기로 꽃을 피우고 내일을 기다리는 이유 It's you Always you.
Brace you.
Hello, we have reached the next morning. I did take my break to sleep. So in the 12 hours that I read, well, 11 hours that I read yesterday, I ended up reading, well, it was 12. Yeah, 12 hours. I stopped at about 10 when I crawled in the bed. So 12 hours yesterday. I've been reading since about 8 and it's 9:15 now. So I was able to read 3 volumes this morning. So we are now at 18 volumes for this project. So let's talk about the next batch of 6. So first up, I have Breakfast with My Two-Tailed Cat. This one's just fine. It's trying to be like a cat version, like a yokai cat version of A Man and His Cat to me. And I think A Man and His Cat is better executed. This one adds a little bit of a foodie element to it, which is kind of cute, but I do think I prefer A Man and His Cat. This is like a 3-star. I think I'm okay to let this one go. I'm like, what I would get from this is what I'm getting in A Man and His Cat, so I don't feel the need for this. So I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. But maybe if A Man and His Cat didn't quite work for you, you needed a little something else to it, this might work better for you. So go ahead and give that a try instead. The next one I have is the Hachijo Specialty Tengu's Love. This is a 5-star. This is so sweet and so fun. I love me a good paranormal romance, and I love Tengu lore quite a bit. Uncommonly known fact about me. So I really enjoyed this one. I had read like the first chapter or two when I was sitting with Maeve one day, and so I kind of just briefly went through those to reacquaint myself, and then I finished reading this one, and it's still so sweet all the way through. I'm really excited to pick up more in this one. Next here I have One More Step, Come Stand by My Side. This was just fine. It was like a 3-star. This is a short story collection. I do mostly enjoy the first story within the collection. The rest of them were just fine. I would have loved to see the development of the first story for sure. So I'm really sad it was only a short story. And yeah, so it was just fine. It didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but I didn't enjoy most of the stories. So yeah, this one's definitely going to leave my collection. Next, I have another one that I really enjoyed and I'm looking forward to more, and that's With You, Our Love Will Make It Through. So this one is like humans and beast folk learning to live together rather than like a omnivore carnivore kind of situation, or an herbivore carnivore situation. So it's an interesting spin on it, but I'm really liking the way it's developing. This is really sweet. They are in high school, so it is a shoujo. It does have a little bit of a steam factor to it, so if you're not looking for that in a shoujo, maybe pass on this one. But I really like the way the lore of the world is kind of developing. They're definitely talking about the fact that beast folk are oppressed. They're talking about it in a way that feels realistic, but they're addressing that it's a problem and it's not proper behavior. So I really like it for that. And so I will definitely be reading more of this one. The next one I have here is The Ketban of the Princess Knight. And I'm very on the fence about this one. This is one where I think I might see if I can get the next volume maybe through my library or digitally, try that out and kind of go from there. Our kept man is an interesting soul and definitely has secrets, but his interactions with the Princess Knight are a very different and kind of unique take on this kind of a story. So I can appreciate it for that, but I don't know how invested I am in it, I think is where I land with it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this very low on my priority list. Not sure I want to pick up more. So that's where I'm at with that one. And then I've got The Witch of Thistle Castle. I really enjoyed this one. It's a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be, but it was very good. Essentially, we have these two characters. So we have this young boy named Theo who has a particular set of magical powers. And then we have the witch that's taking him on as an apprentice, and their friendship and how things are developing as they're getting to know one another. This really had an interesting story development. We went from Scotland to France in this one. So it's very European based in its storytelling. And I quite like it for that, but it's definitely like Theo can see all of the like bad creatures. So it has a little bit of that Ancient Magus Bride factor to it. So I really enjoy this. I will be picking up more. I don't think it's highest on my priority list. And I do know this one's complete now. So I am interested in finishing this one off. All right. So when it comes to like my top things, I think I have to expand it. I don't think I can stay at 3 anymore. Because I think these 5 are definitely my top. The guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. My secretly hot husband. A suitable fetish. The Hachijo Specialties Tengu Love. And With You, Our Love Will Make It Through. Like these, I am all very invested and very excited for more volumes. So with that said, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin for my last 6 and migrate downstairs to finish this off. I'm kind of sick of being in the office, if I'm honest with myself. So I think I'm going to do that. So let's go ahead and do that, get my last 6 and head downstairs. All right, friends, we made it. We've read 24 volumes within a 24-hour period, minus my sleep time. I mean, we were pretty close, even including my sleep time, because it is currently a little after noon. So I am very excited that I was able to get this done. And I ended up hitting a lot of my really dense titles in this video. So some of them took longer than normal to read. And I'm really glad that I was able to get that time to dedicate to them. And some of them ended up being favorites from this reading experience. So let's talk about the last 6, and then we'll give kind of my final thoughts and feelings on the whole situation here. So first up, let's talk about It Takes Two, Tomorrow 2. And with this one, it's cute, it's sweet, it's very slice of life, but I don't think it's really doing enough for me to want more. So this is one that I would recommend maybe checking out from the library or maybe collecting digitally. I don't think it needs space on my shelf. So this is one I would like pick up digitally if it were on sale, kind of a situation. But even with my discount, I still don't think I want to buy any more physically on this one. So it's not bad. It's cute, but I think I have series on my shelf that do the same thing but better. So I don't feel the desire to continue this one. Next up, I have Tiger and Dragon. Now, this is one that's going to be 4 volumes in total. This is very much a love triangle situation where it's all about the person you're destined to be with. But these are like people she's known since she was a child. So it's basically like childhood friends to lovers kind of a situation. And I feel like I know exactly how this is going to end. So this might be just a digital one for me. It's cute. It's fun. I think it's doing exactly what it needs to do well. But considering there's not going to be a lot that would keep me invested long term, I think this is one that I can just collect digitally from here. So that's going to be my plan moving forward, is just to have this in my digital manga collection. All right, now we have the spellbook library. This one is very interesting. It definitely has that, you know, we have a genius who is excelling in everything related to this spellbook library. And there's a weird mana situation. Like, the people who run the spellbook library, they're like, I feel something different about them, but I don't know if this is good or bad, kind of a situation. So it's good. I think it's executing what it's doing well. This is going to be lower priority on my pickup list, but I would be interested in reading more. I do think I'd have to probably reread this one again. I feel like I missed things. So, you know, when you've read so many volumes in a short amount of time, that can happen from time to time. So I think I would reread this before I would pick up another physical one, but I would definitely pick it up digitally. But yeah, I think I want to reread this after I've had some time away from it, and then decide, kind of a situation. Then we have Super Morning Star. I thought this was a really, really sweet one. This is definitely about two boys in high school. One works as, what's he called? It's like, basically he's the guy in a suit playing a superhero, but he's not the actual actor on the TV show. So he's like the sideshow guy that does it. And this is like a guy he knows from high school. He kind of has a rough rap because of how he looks, but he's actually really sweet and really tender. They both start to get feelings for one another. He is pretty obvious that he's got feelings from the get-go. This guy takes a while to warm up, and he waits till he confesses to him before saying anything about it. So I really like the development of this one so far. I will definitely be picking up more in this one. I thought it was very sweet and very cute, and I'm looking forward to more. Then we have Witch Hat Atelier Kitchen. Now, I think this is just going to be something that when I'm missing actual Witch Hat Atelier, I can pick up a volume of this and kind of scratch the itch. Because you still get the whimsy and the beautiful art, but you know, it's a foodie manga instead. So you don't get all the political things that I love, but you get to spend some time in the world with the characters. And I think that's a really good thing. So this is one that I'll pick up occasionally. Again, not super high on my priority list, but you know, if I found it on sale or, you know, I had like a gift card, I would definitely pick this one up. So if you love the Witch Hat Atelier world, I highly recommend checking this one out. You can try it through your library or something if that's more comfortable for you and your budget, but I do think it's worth a read. And then the last one that I've read for this 24 and 24 is Hoteri Hotet First Kiss. Now, this is a collection of short stories from this mangaka about first love and first kisses. And it's really sweet and really cute. I think this is one you either sit in the bookstore and read, or borrow from a friend, or check out from the library, because I don't know that I'm going to necessarily revisit these stories. They are very sweet and very cute. And I definitely appreciate that they put this collection together. Seven Seas was smart to do that. But it's one of those things where I don't necessarily think I'm going to revisit it a lot. So I might pick it up digitally for any time I feel like rereading one of the stories, but I do not think I'm going to keep the physical one on my shelf. I don't think I need to. I have a lot of really cute shoujo stories on my shelf, and I would be more prone to revisit those before I'd revisit this. So again, this is not bad. This is absolutely adorable. I really enjoyed my time with it. You know, it's probably a solid like 4.5 star. I enjoyed every story. But it's one of those things where I don't think I'm going to come back and read them again. Very often, at least. So this is one I'll probably pick up a digital copy when I can find it on sale or I have a gift card and revisit it digitally. I don't need the physical copy on my shelf. So with that said, here are kind of my final standings on the things that I've read. The top things I'm excited to pick up more of, things I'm definitely picking up more of, things that are good but I'm not going to be keeping, and then the things that I don't recommend. Those are kind of the 4 categories I'm showing you here. And I really think this was a really good thing for me. I have decided that for the other 8, I'm going to do a vlog for my members for that. So if you're interested in seeing that, consider joining my membership. Again, it's just like a couple of dollars a month just to get a little bit of extra content occasionally and early access to my videos. I don't do anything too crazy. At this point, I can't dedicate enough time to it, so I don't feel good doing that. So that's kind of the plan. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you'd like to see another 24 in 24 type of video like this, let me know in the comments down below. And again, if you're interested in this whole concept, my friend Heather's playlist is down below because she's the one who inspired me to do a 24 in 24. So with that said, once again, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you're here just because you love me, leave me your favorite heart emoji, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.